Hi, sixth graders. This is your science teacher in YT, Ma'am Ross. Welcome to our new video lesson. I am inviting everyone. Let's work together, do our best to learn as much as we can. Let's have fun as we explore the amazing world of science. Let's do this. Well, you have learned in the previous lesson that the Earth is one of the planets in our solar system and that its movement includes the rotation on its axis and revolution around the Sun. This time, you will learn the different planets in the solar system and their unique characteristics based from Learner's Pocket or LEAP for Quarter 4, Week 6. Let's go! The word planet comes from the Greek word planetai, which means wandering. Planets are called such because they are always moving. At present, there are 8 planets in the solar system. All these planets move constantly around the Sun at different rates at speed. Planets rotate on their own axis as they revolve around the Sun. Planets have no light of their own and they only reflect light from the Sun. Now let's meet the planets. We have the inner planets and the outer planets. This is really exciting. The planets in our solar system are divided into 2 groups, and these are the inner planets and the outer planets. Now it's your turn to get your learner's pocket, get your activity sheets for you to be prepared for the differences between inner planets and outer planets. Well, the inner planets are closer to the Sun. They are the planets closer to the Sun, while the outer planets are those farther from the Sun. The inner planets include the Mercury, the Venus, the Earth, and Mars. These inner planets are also called the terrestrial planets because like Earth, these planets have rocky surface. Well, the first inner planet is Mercury with 58 million kilometer average distance from the Sun. It is nearest planet to the Sun with equatorial diameter of 4,880 kilometers. It takes 88 Earth days for revolution and 59 Earth days for rotation with very thin atmosphere. With surface temperature of up to 400 degrees Celsius during daytime and negative 180 degrees during nighttime. So this is our first planet, the Mercury. You may jot down all the important facts about this because we're gonna have learning tests afterwards. So much about Mercury, its surface is full of craters like this. It has no moon or ring around it. How about our second planet? It's Venus, the hottest planet with 108 million kilometer distance from the Sun. It has almost the same size and density as the Earth. It has equatorial diameter of 12,104 kilometer and it rotates from east to west once every 243 Earth days and revolves around the Sun for 225 days. The atmosphere is made up mostly of carbon dioxide, which has a surface temperature that rises to more than 470 degrees Celsius. Once again, this is our second planet, Venus, the hottest planet. As I have mentioned earlier, the thick layer of clouds of Venus' atmosphere reflects sunlight very well, making Venus the brightest object in the sky, next to the moon as seen from Earth, making it often called the evening star or morning star. It has no moon or ring around it. So these are the characteristics of the planet Venus. The third one is our very own, the Earth. The Earth has an average distance from the Sun with 149 million kilometers. It is the only planet in the solar system that can sustain life. It has an equatorial diameter of 12,750 kilometers and also called as the blue planet. Why? Because it looks blue as seen from the outer space, and it takes 365 and 1/4 days to complete its revolution and 24 hours to complete its rotation. So this is the planet Earth. Now let's take a closer look with the planet Earth. It has an average surface temperature with 15 degrees Celsius. One third of the Earth's surface is land, while two-thirds is water. The land part is divided into continents with landforms like mountains and hills. The water part consists of bodies of water like oceans and rivers, with only one moon that revolves around Earth every 27.3 days. Now let's move with the fourth planet, which is Mars. The fourth planet, Mars, is called the red planet because of the presence of iron on its surface that looks red with 227 million kilometer distance from the sun, and it has an equatorial distance of 6,788 kilometers with very thin atmosphere, largely consists of carbon dioxide and small percentage of other gases. It has an average surface temperature of negative 63 degrees Celsius. So it's cold in here. Always remember that this planet has a very thin atmosphere. Mount Olympus is one of the largest volcanoes in the solar system found in the planet Mars. It takes 687 Earth days to complete its revolution and 24 days to complete its rotation. And it has two moons. Now let's take note that there are two moons in Mars. All right. Now, let's proceed with the outer planets. We have the Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. They are called the gas giants. Now, so the fifth one is Jupiter. Jupiter is the biggest planet in the solar system with an average distance of 774 million kilometers, with equatorial diameter of 142,984 kilometers. It is covered with thick clouds and has no solid ground. It is also called as the gas giant planet, which is made up of mostly hydrogen and helium, and with huge storm in its atmosphere called the Great Red Spot. It has an average surface temperature of negative 149 degrees Celsius. So this is the fifth planet called Jupiter, the biggest planet in the solar system. It takes 12 Earth years to complete its revolution and 10 hours to complete its rotation. This planet has 50 moons. Wow! 50 moons with an additional of 17 moons recently discovered and currently being confirmed. Our sixth planet is Saturn, with an average distance of 1.4 billion kilometer. This is the farthest planet visible to our naked eye. It has an equatorial diameter of 120,536 kilometer and a gas giant with no solid surface. The atmosphere is composed mostly of hydrogen and helium. Saturn is a cold planet with temperature of negative 176 degrees Celsius at the top of its clouds. Oh, it's so cold. Now, let us take a closer look to the planet Saturn. It is a cold planet with temperature of negative 176 degrees Celsius, and it has 53 known moons surrounding Saturn, with Titan as its largest moon, which is also the second largest moon in the solar system. So take a look at the 53 known moons that surround the planet Saturn. Remember, Titan is the largest moon and the second in the whole solar system. The seventh planet is Uranus. Uranus has an average distance of 2.9 billion kilometers and the first planet discovered by means of telescope, with an equatorial diameter of 51,118 kilometers. It is considered as ice giant because it is mostly made up of frozen water, the methane and ammonia. Its atmosphere is made up of hydrogen and helium. Jupiter has an average surface temperature that can reach negative 200 degrees Celsius, so it's so cold in here. And it's the only planet that rotates on its side. So this is a distinct characteristic of Uranus. The 17 hours to complete its rotation and 84 Earths for complete the revolution. So it has 11 rings around and 27 moons, with Titania as the largest moon. So these are some moons that surround this planet. Wow! So these are the 27 moons with Titania as the largest moon. We have a sample Miranda, Ariel, Umbriel, and Titania. So these are just sample moons of the planet Uranus. Did you get it right? All right. So, the last but not the least, the eighth planet is Neptune, with 4.5 billion kilometer average distance from the Sun. This is the first planet to be discovered using the mathematical calculations before being confirmed by a telescope. Neptune and Uranus are called twin planets because they have about the same size and mass. Its equatorial diameter is 49,532 kilometers. It has no solid surface. It's a gas giant with surface temperature of negative 214 degrees Celsius. Wow, so it's so cold in here. And take note that this is a twin planet of the planet Uranus. They are called the twin planets. Now take a look. Let's take a look at this planet. Its rotation lasts about 16 Earth hours and one revolution around the Sun. It has 13 moons, the largest of which is called Triton. This Neptune has 6 dark rings which made up of very fine particles. So these are the characteristics of our 8th planet, Neptune. Wow! So I hope you got all the details right. And good job for listening. Now let's move on with our learning task. All right. For our learning task 1, here is our direction. Using the given information about the distances of the 8 planets from the sun, draw an illustration like the one below on your answer sheet. Arrange the planets from their distance to the sun based on the given data. Name all the planets according to the distance from the sun. I'll be giving you enough time to do this. Take your time, kids. I'll be giving you an answer on this learning test. Here it is. Here is our illustration about the distances of the 8 planets. Now, let's get ready for learning task 2. For learning task 2, we have to, of course, compare the 2 groups of planets according to their distance from the sun. So we will focus on the size, atmosphere, the surface temperature, rotation and revolution, physical characteristic, the ring and satellite or the moon. Now let's use this Venn diagram in comparing. So we have 2 circles. The first circle is the inner planet, and on the right side, we have the outer planets. Now, let's take a look on this Venn diagram. So, use your lip in answering this learning task. I'll be giving you enough time or enough seconds to complete this task. Good luck, everyone! After answering this, then we can have some checking. All right, so these are the inner planets, the distance from the sun. All right, and the outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, based on the categories that I have mentioned. Good luck! And now, let's move on with learning task 3. Learning task 3 is giving questions like this. Now, we have the questions 1 to 5. Which inner planet is nearest to the sun? Which planet is the third farthest from the sun? Which planet is next to Mercury? What is the distance from Mars to the sun? And which is the biggest planet? So all you have to do is to answer these 5 questions for a few seconds. Let's do this. Now, after these 5 questions, we shall move to our 6 to 10 questions. What is common to all the outer planets? And why is Neptune referred to as the twin planet of Uranus? Why is life not possible on other planets? And why does the sun never rise nor set in Uranus? Why is it not possible to see Neptune without using a telescope? So these are the questions number 6 to 10. Good luck, everyone, for answering these questions. And let's move on with checking of your own work. Are you ready? I'm sure you are ready. Now let's check. Mercury, Saturn, Venus, 227 million kilometers, and Jupiter for the first 5 items or first 5 questions. How many of you got 5 answers on these items? Very good. And let's prepare for our 6 to 10 questions. All right, so those are the answers. Congratulations, 6th graders. We are done with our Learner's Pocket Leap Learning Test Week 6. Congratulations! If you have any question, just comment or just type your comment on the comment section so I may know all your questions. Bye everyone! Thank you for listening!